Hey, it's Kelly Weaver Photography, and today I'm going to be talking about the Zoom tip to help you look approachable and connect to your clients. That has to do with setting up your scene, the scene behind you that you are using on your Zoom calls. So let's talk about first what not to do. Got my postcards from cheat sheets. You don't want to have backlight. So you've probably seen that. It's pretty obvious when people put a window behind their head and they look really dark. That's because the camera's metering for the backlight. So don't want to use backlight. That's not a good idea. You also do not want beds in the background, people. This is not a good idea for a professional business call. So nix the beds. That's not going to do it for you. You also want to eliminate clutter as much as possible. And we in photo world call it visual tension. So lots of clutter behind you is not going to be in your best interests. Also, dogs. I know, I have a dog. They're lovely, they're fun, and they're on all of our Zoom calls. And you can see her little face, just saying, behind me, but I am cropping her out. So if you do have a dog, crop them out. But back to what's behind me and what you don't see posters of my favorite hockey team winning the Stanley Cup. You don't see a ton of awards. People don't really care to see those. You just want to keep it to a pretty clean slate when it comes to what's behind you. So you also want to be thinking about what's coming out of your head, and don't feel like cropping off the top of your head is wrong. I do it all the time. People really want to see your face. But what I'm talking about are the things that you don't want coming out of your head. Like if I did this, I now have a heater coming out of my head and a closet coming out of my head. So I'd rather crop tight and just have you see my face. So watch what's coming out of your head behind you. You don't want it to be a ceiling fan. You don't want it to be the top of your closet. You don't want it to be a heater. You also don't want a blank wall really close to the back of your head, because that's going to distract. Also, every little detail of that wall, if it's close to your head, is going to be in focus. Whereas if my wall behind me, in my case, it's a closet, is about 6 feet or more away from me, it's not going to compete with my face. So if you have a wall behind you, put it way behind you. So as far as what to do, you definitely want to face the window or the light coming in, and you want to do it at a time of day when there's no direct sunlight coming through, so you don't get lines across your face. So north facing windows are perfect, or go to a window when there's no light coming through it at that time of day. If you do have a bedroom and that's the only good place for light and you don't want to show your bed, use a divider. You can easily get them on Wayfair and just pop them up, but again, make sure they're a good distance behind you, and that'll work. You also want to create a scene, and you want to make it look and feel like a beautiful office. So you can see I've got my lamp, I've got just a little bit of wall art there with a couple of clippings, but you can't really see them because they're out of focus. I have a few personal items. I usually like to use books a lot. I think those are great, yeah, but notice I turned the binder away so the titles of the books weren't distracting. So this is really how my office looks, and I want it to feel cozy and warm and have a few personal items out. And I personally also love warm skin tones. So I use a warm color behind me because it warms up my skin. I'm not much of a cool skin kind of gal with white behind me, that kind of thing, or a light gray, because it makes my skin look a little bit more blue. And I'm all about flesh tones. So those are some tips on creating your Zoom scene or background. And of course, holler if you are ready to refresh your headshots with some warm skin tones, or if you're looking at moving up to personal branding, which is a little bit more casual, a little bit more fun, a little bit more contemporary, at our new studio off the Quebec and County line. So have a great rest of your day, and we hope to talk to you soon.